Hi everyone, my name is Romero, and this is for the class Architecture 1100. This is the Building Research Part C, and I present to you the Cathedral of Santa Maria del Fiore, built by the architect Arnolfo di Cambio, and it was built from 1996 to 1380, including the dome, which was finally built in 1436 in Florence, Italy. So here's the Santa Maria, here's the front of it, over here is the side of it, and then if you turn it back, here's the back, here's the other side, and the front again. So most of this is made out of foam, cardboard, and paper. I used a 16 scale to measure it. So as you can see, I can measure it from the side of it, right there. Oh, from there. I used a 16-inch scale for most of it. As I mentioned, this is the Santa Maria del Fiore Cathedral. Something significant about it is that this was meant to replace the old church of Santa Reparata, and also this was the beginning of a new style that the architects wanted to implant in Italy. This was actually the beginning of a style called Gothic style that started to influence Florence and make the city more urban, and this was the example they wanted to start off with. But as Italy started having issues with sicknesses, also known as the Black Death plague, many architects and experts tried to see a new style to Florence that will keep expanding it. So sooner or later was to create a dome, which I did recreate, uh, and try to create this as a new style for Italy and Florence, so they can later expand it throughout the nations. And this actually took many years to accomplish, but it finally was complete. Its reflection to the spirit of time and place it was built was that Florence was going through a big change in this 13th century, and they wanted to make the city more urban. And by doing this, they also wanted to start developing banking. As they started getting more and more ideas for the city, they actually began with the churches, which they started off with Gothic styles, and that trend was soon to expand throughout all Italy. As I mentioned, the Black Death plague actually played a big impact on how architects will finish this, because they usually took more than 50 years to actually complete the Santa Maria Cathedral, and many were actually like going against it, whether it was actually Gothic or classical styles. But at the end, the most of it was ended up being Gothic, except the dome was later on considered as classical for as many architects try to name it like that. And as I mentioned, Florence, this was an example of what the 13th century of Florence was about to begin. Most of this began in the second half of the century, and it was a time to make Florence more urbanized and to gain more popularity in the banking systems. And by doing that, they wanted to start by creating more and new, bigger churches for their religion, which was Christianity. And apart from that, both cities of Florence and Rome were using the classical dome to create this new trend to make it expand throughout Italy. And if you don't mind, I will show you once more how it came out. So once again, here's my cathedral, here's the front, here's the side, here are the little domes. This is the big dome that took forever to build. This is the back of it. This is the other side. And this is the front again. And as I mentioned, I used a 16-inch scale to measure it. And one more time, this was made out of cardboard, foam board, and paper. And here you go. Thank you, and I present to you guys the Santa Maria del Fiore Cathedral.